Hello and welcome to the lecture on aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. Now, why aromatic compounds undergo electrophilic substitution reaction and not electrophilic addition reaction? We have already seen, but just to recap, when cyclohexene is treated with bromine, the electrophilic addition takes place across the double bond, whereas benzene requires Lewis acid to catalyze the reaction, but the reaction is electrophilic substitution reaction. So benzene is not undergoing this kind of electrophilic reaction. There are certain reasons, because benzene has got special stabilization by the virtue of delocalization of pi electrons, and we call it as benzene as aromatic. The aromatic compounds, they have special stabilization and they obey Huckel's rule of 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Benzene acts as a Lewis base because it has got pi electrons which can be given to electrophilic reagents. Electrophilic addition, if at all takes place, it will destroy the special stabilization, and therefore benzene does not undergo electrophilic addition. In fact, it undergoes electrophilic substitution. Now the reaction mechanism for both is easy. The first reaction mechanism I will put, and then immediately the bromination of benzene also will put. So here the bromine molecule, initially it will form a cyclic bromonium ion. Now this cyclic bromonium ion then reacts with the Br minus species which is available in C2, and you get the trans compound. Now the trans compound is because the bromonium ion bridge allows the addition from other phase. Let us say this is beta bromonium ion. The Br will approach from the lower phase and you will get 1,2 trans dibromo cyclohexane as a product. Whereas if the same reaction is carried out on benzene, the reaction pathway is entirely different, and you can see that the role of Lewis acid is to complex with your bromine molecule, and it creates a dipole. It weakens the Br-Br bond, and thereby it promotes the addition or the attack of benzene ring on it. Initially you get rhenium ion. We have already seen this rhenium ion formation. This enjoys delocalization and therefore it is stabilized. So this is RDS or slow step of the reaction, and later on FeBr4 minus which is there will assist, and this step is fast step, and you get the product as bromobenzene, and of course it releases HBr, and aluminum FeBr3 is once again liberated in the reaction. The same FeBr3 will complex with another bromine molecule, and this reaction will continue. Now this is where the nuclear hydrogen is replaced by halogen, and therefore it is known as substitution reaction. Substitution in common language, it is a replacement of one functional group by another. Now here the aromatic hydrogen is replaced by electrophile, and that's why it is termed as electrophilic substitution reaction. Okay. Now the examples of electrophilic substitution reaction we have already seen. I will just list them together. First one is nitration reaction, sulfonation reaction, halogenation reactions, Friedel-Crafts reactions, and last one is diazonium coupling reaction. We have seen that nitration is a first reaction which has been studied extensively, and therefore all mechanistic work was done with nitration reaction, right from the reaction mechanism, the reaction kinetics, the second order kinetics, the energy profile diagram, and so on. For nitration reaction, let us revise the things quickly. For nitration reaction, various nitrating agents are recommended, or they have been used. They have been in use. First one is nitrating mixture, that is HNO3 and H2SO4. Second is HNO3 itself. Third combination is nitric acid and acetic anhydride. Nitrogen pentoxide is also a conventional nitrating agent, and some nitronium salts, we have already mentioned them: nitronium tetrafluoroborate, nitronium perchlorate. These are also available. Now this combination is known as nitrating mixture. Now this nitrating mixture is nothing but a mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid, wherein sulfuric acid, being strong acid, gives away proton and you get a formation of nitronium ion species. We have already seen that nitronium ion species is formed, and the evidences are there. It is linear triatomic molecule, being the diatal angle 180, and it is IR inactive, it is Raman active, and you get a peak around 1400 centimeter inverse in the Raman spectrum. That is one of the proof. The other proof, we have already seen all those things, so I am not repeating those things. Nitric acid is a weak nitrating agent. One nitric acid acts as an acid, the other one acts as a base, and still they produce nitronium ion, although in lower concentration, and rate problem would be there. Nitric acid acetic anhydride combination is normally used when you are working with a labile substrates. Nitrogen pentoxide is another reagent, and nitronium salts are commercially available. The reaction mechanism can be broadly divided into 3 steps. For nitration reaction, we are talking about, first is generation of electrophile, generation of nitronium ion, let us say. Second is sigma complex formation, and third one is re-aromatization, or where the proton is lost and you get a compound with aromatic sextate. So generation of electrophile, if you want to show with nitric acid sulfuric acid combination, then naturally it is a equation wherein you will get the formation of NO2 plus, that is the electrophile. This is the actual electrophile, and this is the conjugate base. Now this conjugate base later on assists in the removal of proton. Now once nitronium ion is formed, now this is first step. Once nitronium ion is formed, and we are talking about benzene, it interacts with the nitronium ion through its pi cloud, and you get the formation of sigma complex, rhenium ion, Wieland intermediate. There are so many names. We have already seen the evidences for the formation of this rhenium ion. It has been isolated as a solid with mesitylene and with a melting point around 150 degrees. Some palladium complexes are also formed, and they are the evidences for the formation of this kind of things. Benzene with superacid can also give rise to the cyclohexadienal cation, wherein those two protons are going to be perpendicular to the plane of the ring, and those are the evidences for the formation. Now this is second step wherein sigma complex is formed, and in third step the sigma complex undergoes deprotonation and you get the aromatic sextate, or you get the formation of nitrobenzene. So HSO4's role is to assist or to help in the removal of proton. Now this is first step, this is rate determining step, slow step, and therefore if you work with the deuterated substrate also, since the loss of proton is occurring during the first step, there is no primary kinetic isotope effect observed in this reaction. Now when you look at the energy profile diagram of this reaction, the energy profile diagram is self explanatory. The first step requires higher energy, the energy barrier is high, and naturally it is a slow step. The second step relatively has lower transition energy to overcome, and therefore the loss of proton occurs during the first step. And because of this, when I am working with, this is almost 1 for nitration. So when I am working with the normal benzene with deuterated benzene, the rates are going to be almost same. Now the next part is energy profile diagram. I am just going little quickly because we have already seen these things. The energy profile diagram is nothing but a plot of potential energy versus reaction coordinate or reaction path, you can say. And now here now I am just putting the things properly. Okay, now this is ARH plus electrophile. This is the first transition state, TS1. This is where the electrophile is getting bonded and you get a cyclohexadienyl cation type thing, and then or you can put the positive charge inside. And in second step, this is transition state 2, it is relatively low, and this is slow step, you can put as slow. This is fast step, and herein you get the removal of hydrogen in terms of H plus, and you get the replacement of hydrogen with electrophile. Now if you look at this, it follows second order kinetics. Rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of substrate as well as electrophile. So when you put the rate equation, rate is equal to K, that is constant, or rate is equal to concentration of ARH, or rate is proportional, we will put sign here. Any change in the concentration of substrate or electrophile will obviously change the pattern of reaction or change the order of reaction or molecularity of the reaction. So this follows second order kinetics, and you can see that this barrier is high, this barrier is low. So if I call it as K1 and K2, K1 is very high, and therefore you don't see any primary kinetic isotope effect, because proton loss is happening during this step, wherein this is losing a proton, and thereby you get the ARE, wherein E can be any electrophile from this list. Okay, now that is about nitration. Now various nitrating agents already we have seen. Now I'll just give some examples on nitration reaction. Of course, the examples, some of these have been already given to you. Anisole, when treated with N2O5, it gives the orthonitro product only. Now, this orthonitro product formation can be explained by this mechanism. Now, this OCH3 interacts with nitrogen. This is your N2O5 molecule. Okay. Now, this complexes with one of the nitrogen which is positively charged, and you get a intermediate wherein your oxygen is bonded with nitrogen, and of course the remaining thing is NO3 minus. Okay. Now, herein the, of course this will be OCH3 and this is positive. Now, oxygen is highly unstable when it is having positive charge. So, to overcome that, the pi participation from aromatic ring takes place and you get the positive charge here, because this is having only 3 bonds. So, tetravalency of carbon is question, and then this is loss during the first step. This is loss of proton and you get the formation of ortho nitro compound when a special reagent like nitrogen pentoxide is used. Okay. Now, this was one example given as exercise. Anyway, we will go ahead and we will talk little about the sulfonation reaction. Now, sulfonation is the only reaction wherein you see primary kinetic isotope effect. Kh by Kd is around 2, and sulfonation, I will just put sulfonation here. Sulfonation reaction generally carried out with sulfur trioxide as an electrophile, which is maybe in the form of SO3 concentrated H2SO4 mixture, which is known as oleum, or H2SO4 itself. So, H2SO4 is the structure is this one. Now, one H2SO4 acts as a donor, the other one acts as an acceptor, and this is nothing but your acid base reaction. I will just put the abstraction of proton. So, this is functioning as an acid, this is functioning as a base. So, anything which accepts proton is base, anything which donates a proton, that is acid. So, here this is nothing but HSO4 minus the conjugate base, plus this becomes OH2 plus, and this becomes okay. Later on this loses minus H3O plus and you get the SO3. Okay. So, when you write the chemical equation, it is 2 molecules of sulfuric acid interacting to form SO3 plus H3O plus HSO4 minus, right. Now, this is the electrophile, this is a conjugate base, the one which is obtained when this kind of acid base interaction takes place. Now, once this is formed, then this can interact with your aromatic substrate, benzene or anything, and you get arenium ion intermediate which subsequently loses a proton. So, that is how the sulfonation goes, and the next path Also I will show just a mechanism part is there. SO3 is a neutral electrophile not carrying any charge, but the polarization is there by the virtue of electronegativity difference between sulfur and oxygen. Now sulfur and oxygen, which is more electronegative? Of course the oxygen, and you can see that there is a formation of rhenium ion intermediate. Now this is your rhenium ion or Wieland intermediate or cyclohexadienyl cation, which is the transition state, and this loses a proton to a conjugate base, and this is the first step of losing a proton, and subsequently this SO3 minus can take a proton from the reaction medium and becomes sulfonic acid. Now this is benzene sulfonic acid. The only problem with this product is when it is boiled with dilute acidic water, it becomes benzene. So the some stability issues are there, but anyway this is the overall reaction path. For halogenation reaction, we have seen that only chlorination and brominations are having synthetic applications. The fluorination generally destroys aromatic sextate, so fluorination is not considered, and iodination being reversible reaction, that is also having some question marks. So for halogenations, generally a combination of chlorine with Lewis acid. Now Lewis acids can be anything: FeCl3, aluminum chloride, gallium chloride, boron tribromide, etc. So this is there, bromine with FeBr3 or any Lewis acid for that matter. These are some of the halogenating agents, and halogen, again once again we have seen that the polarization take place, the bond between two halogen is weakened because of the FeBr3 which complexes, and later on the positive end of the dipole is being reacting with your benzene ring, and thereby the further reaction takes place. Now Friedel-Crafts reaction, there are two reactions. One is Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction and second one is Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. The Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction has got some demerits or limitations, you can say. First one is the polyalkylation is a big issue, because once the alkyl group gets attached to the aromatic ring, the reactivity goes high and there will be competition between benzene and the substituted benzene, and you will end up with the mixture of compounds, and the separation would be the problem. That first problem is polyalkylation. Second is the carbonium ion undergoes Merwin-Wagner rearrangement, and you won't get the desired product. The simple example to illustrate that Merwin-Wagner rearrangement is, if I take benzene and treat it with this combination N-propyl chloride and aluminum chloride, so my desired product is going to be N-propyl chloride, but I will end up with isopropyl. Now this N-propyl benzene, isopropyl benzene, this is also known as cumene. This is going to be a major product, this is going to be a minor product. Now that means there is something happening during the formation of carbonium ion, and that is the issue. Now this is major product which is not the desired product, and minor product is the one which we thought that this will form. Now the reason for this is the Merwin-Wagner rearrangement of the carbonium ion. We'll just put the mechanism here. Now this is your N-propyl chloride. When it interacts with aluminum chloride, let us say, there is a break and you end up with the combination of this cation and the conjugate thing. Now this is primary carbonium ion which can undergo rearrangement and it becomes secondary carbonium ion. Now this is secondary. So secondary carbonium ion is more stable than primary, and naturally this will interact with your benzene and you will end up with the isocumene. So this is your Merwin-Wagner rearrangement wherein hydrogen or alkyl group migrates if the structure permits. Now this is one of the example. If you have a longer carbon chain, then the chances of Merwin-Wagner rearrangements are very high, and therefore we always think that the desired products are not formed, and that's why when we say that benzene interacts with this compound along with Lewis acid, my major product is going to be cumene and not N-propyl benzene. So that is the demerit of Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. Second problem is this is the rearrangement. Second problem is if I start with toluene with benzene and treat it with the similar combination of methyl chloride and aluminum chloride, I am expected to get only toluene, but this does not happen. Once toluene is formed, this will compete with benzene and this has got more reactivity. We have already seen that this is 24 times more reactive than benzene. So naturally this will take the upper hand. It will react with the electrophile and you will end up with the mixture, and separating mixture is going to be added task, and no chemist or no synthetic organic chemist would like all these things to happen. To overcome this, the other alternative is given, that is Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction, and Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction overcomes all these problems. So in Friedel-Crafts reaction, let us say I want to synthesize N-butyl benzene, then how I am supposed to approach? If I start with the Friedel-Crafts alkylation, then the issue of polyalkylation is there, issue of rearrangement is there. So to avoid that, the first functional group interconversion is I am going to put another functional group in place of this, and I am going to have a carbonyl group at alpha position, which is also termed as benzylic position. Now this is functional group interconversion, and now if I break it here, I have to have acylium ion equivalent and benzene. So this is my Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. So I am going to start with benzene. I am going to start with this is my 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon unit along with, so acid chloride, aluminum chloride combined will give me a respite from the polyalkylation as well as Merwin-Wagner rearrangements, and this carbonyl group I can reduce it by Clemmensen reduction or Wolff-Kishner or Mazinger reaction, and I will get the N-butyl benzene as the only product without having any problem. So Friedel-Crafts acylation has got some advantages. First is rearrangement is not an issue. Second is, when this group, a ketonic group, is attached to the aromatic ring, the reactivity goes down. So this is no more a threat to your basic compound. This won't compete with benzene because reactivity of this product is very low, and polyacylation is also not possible. Even it will not compete with benzene, and these reactions are very clean and synthetically more useful. Moving on to the diazonium coupling, as we have said that diazonium ions are prepared in situ from the primary aromatic amines using the nitrous acid, which is prepared in situ from NaNO2 HCl, and the preferred reaction temperature is 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. The nitrous acid which forms in situ interacts and you get this species which is known as benzene diazonium chloride. This is the electrophile. Now this electrophile is weak electrophile and reacts only with phenols and amine. Reacts with phenols and amines. Now a simple example to illustrate this: the phenoxide ion, when interacts with your diazonium ion. Now I am just putting the path, the phenyl ring is here, and of course the counter ion is there. So when you are going to show the electron pushing mechanism, the electron should move to the nitrogen which is carrying positive charge, and thereby you can see that how I am drawing the things. Nitrogen trivalency is restored, and you can see that you will be having a. Now this is known as diazonium coupling, wherein diazo, that means two nitrogen atoms, and in last step, that is your ketoenol tautomerism, to furnish you the diazonium coupled reaction. Now the phenol, the preferred position is para, which is substituted here. So this is your classical diazonium ion coupling. Now where these reactions are having the application, first is in laboratory we use this reaction as a tool to identify whether the given amine is primary, secondary or tertiary. So we call it as distinguishing test between the primary, secondary and tertiary amines using this NaNO2 HCl combine. So this is also termed as diazotization test. So diazonium ion formation, diazotization test, primary amine gives the orange dye stuff because you are treating the diazonium ion with beta naphthalene NaOH, and naturally beta naphthalene NaOH when combines with your compound, this is your beta naphthol in NaOH forms the phenoxide ion type, and then this interacts with your diazonium ion. So this is how the electrons are moving. The electron pull is because nitrogen is positive, and this is how the electron movement takes place, and you end up with the intermediate which shows that you are having a diazonium ion, and finally the aromatization occurs because this hydrogen is acidic, the enolic proton, and thereby you get the, I will just show the hybrid structure here. The phenol is restored and you will get the, now this is your compound which is causing the color, and we say that orange dye is formed. The moment this is formed, we say that primary aromatic amine is there, or it has to be the reason behind this. Okay. Now the next part is the reactivity concept, reactivity and orientation. We have already started. I will just put some light on this. Now reactivity is normally relative reactivity, and it is the reactivity of any compound in comparison to benzene. So if benzene has got reactivity as 1, the others may have higher reactivity or lower reactivity depending upon the reaction conditions and the electrophiles. To illustrate reactivity concept, we have said that when a benzene and toluene is, this is 1:1, when it is treated with 1 equivalent of nitronium ion, there will be competition between these two and you will end up with the mixture. I am putting this CH3 here, or I will put NO2 here rather and CH3 here. So NO2 can be ortho, meta or para with respect to CH3, and this is nitrobenzene. So this is 24:1, that is the proportion. So nitration of benzene is happening at lower rate than that of toluene. That means toluene is more reactive than benzene by 24 times. So this is the group. This is, in technical term we call it as substituent. Now this substituent has got something to do with the reactivity, and therefore these kind of substituents which are going to boost the electron density of the benzene ring are termed as electron donating substituents. Now electron donating substituents will enhance the reactivity of benzene ring because they donate electrons through sigma bond. The inductive stabilization of the rhenium ion is there, hyperconjugative stabilization is also there, and naturally in case of benzene those things are missing. There is no question of orientation in benzene because we know that all these positions are chemically equivalent, and therefore you will end up with the nitrobenzene. Unless the conditions are harsh, you will not get the second nitro group induced on the ring. Okay. Now for various substituents, the electron donors, acceptors, all those groups we have seen. Ortho para directing groups, and another category is meta directing. Now this is ortho para directing groups. I will say here it is meta directing group. Ortho para directing groups, all those who can donate electrons to the aromatic ring by the virtue of resonance or inductive effect or hyperconjugation, they are classified as ortho para directing, and these are electron donors. and these are electron acceptors. Now these electron acceptors, once again they are further classified as moderate, weak and strong. Similarly in donors, strong, moderate and weak. Some of them I am listing here, say OH, NH2, NR2, these are strong. I am just putting few of them. Then OR, anylides, these are moderate, and alkyl groups, they are the weak. So strong, moderate and weak, that is the classification. Now here once again strong, moderate and weak, I am just putting few illustrative examples of them. NR3, NO2, cyano, these are strong electron acceptors. Here it is aldehydes, ketones, amides, these are moderate, and weak, these are electron acceptors. Maybe some of them are medium and weak, there is no distinction as such, but I am just putting few of them. And then electron acceptors, meta directing, CF3 is meta directing, no doubt, the ester group and so on. So these are the classification, this is the classification based upon their orientation. So all these groups, they are meta orienting, these are ortho para directing, and of course in this list we have halogens also. Even halogens, they are ortho para directing, although they are weakly deactivating, because halogens can withdraw electrons through minus I effect, and that's why they are weakly deactivating. But when it comes to the orientation, they stabilize the rhenium ion intermediate through their unshared electron pair donation, and that's why entire list is there, and you can find this list in all books. It is very common, and you can always go through it. If any queries, you can always post them to me. I'll answer all queries which will be posted by you. Now about the orthopara and meta orientation. Why we say that it is orthopara directing group and one is meta orthopara or meta directing group? The reason can be rationalized on the basis of stability of rhenium ions which are formed, and the rhenium ion intermediates can be stabilized through resonance effect. And one illustrative examples we'll have. Let us say I am talking about CH3 group which is there on the aromatic ring, and we can have 3 positions with reference to this ortho, meta and para. This is also ortho and meta. So there are 2 positions which are ortho, 2 meta and 1 para, and therefore when you carry out any electrophilic substitution reaction, I am going to get the electrophile induction at ortho position, meta position or para position with reference to the methyl group, and the proportion varies from one functional group to another, and that variation can be explained on the basis of the stability of rhenium ion intermediate, which normally we show during the formation of transition step.